fellas.
Thank you, voice girl, and welcome to this special edition of the Manspace podcast. Now, you're sitting here with Russ, and this is another episode in the Russ and Company series. All throughout the month of December, we're dropping special episodes as our gift to you, the Manspace Nation. Now, Manspace Nation, I have a question directly for all of you, and I'm looking at you right now. Yep, every single one of you. Put that donut down. You don't need it. But I got a question for you guys. By a show of hands, how many of you have tried online dating? Okay, I see a few of you have. But online dating is, I guess, it's offers both opportunities and challenges. Sometimes it's complex, and it's a place where people can find, I guess, meaningful connections. And then other times it can be very frustrating and has plenty of misconceptions. Well, today we're going to talk about all of that. Today I have the founder of marryingamerica.com, a dating platform where people are officially tired of swiping, ghosting, and asking themselves, why are they still on dating apps? Marrying America is built for people who actually want to find real connections using credit-based system that forces you to slow down and choose wisely. Kind of like dating with consequences. Well, my guest today is here to break it all down and how he's changing the online dating game. He's here to help serious singles find long-time love without losing their sanity. Manspace Nation, please give it up for my guest today, Mr. Jeremy Nelson.
Whoa. Look, I mean, that was a heck of an intro, Russ. I mean, I really appreciate it. That was outstanding. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. 10, 10, 10. No doubt. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for taking time to be a part of the show. We have a lot of questions here for you. And
Yes, sir.
first of all, is what led you to say, I want to change dating for people all across the country? Because I mean, a lot of times in the dating game, I mean, people are about themselves. They're not about trying to help
Sure.
everybody else too. So why are you trying to help everyone in finding love?
Well, to give you a little bit of the backstory, Russ, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a man who has been married for 39 years, okay?
that's
I,
awesome.
I understand and appreciate
Yeah.
the value of having a long-term, healthy, sustained relationship.
Hmm.
And I have seen a lot of my peer group struggling to find that.
Hmm.
And, just in backyard barbecue conversations, just in, the dinner table conversations, I heard the frustrations with
Hmm.
with the dating apps.
Okay.
And, for decades, well, not for decades, for 15, 17 years, I've been saying that there has to be a better way. And I decided that I are determined that it's just too much noise on these
Right.
existing apps. You don't know if somebody is there for a good time or for
Hmm.
a long time. You know what I mean? You match with somebody. Are they just looking for some fun this weekend? Or are they looking for a long term partner? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I said, okay, look, because in fairness, Russ, I have known people who have met their significant others on
Hmm.
these apps and are happily married for any number of years today. So, I mean, do these apps work? Yes,
Yes.
but you have to cut through a lot of noise. You have
Yeah.
to cut through, and you have to get lucky. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That you run into that person who is looking for exactly what you're looking for.
Right.
And when you're trying to form a relationship based on luck, or if you're trying to do life based on luck, that's a bad strategy. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, look, there has to be a way to take luck out of the equation
Hmm.
and get intentional people who are looking for the same thing. Because my philosophy is very simple, okay? if you want a long-term relationship, the best way to get there is with somebody else who wants the same thing,
Right.
okay, and is willing to do the work to make it happen, okay.
Mhm.
And in this current dispensation that we're in, um, I may want a long-term relationship, but the girl that I'm talking to, she just wants a hookup. She just wants to
Right.
be a situationship. She doesn't want a
Mhm.
long-term relationship. So I decided to build a platform where people who wanted intentional, focused relationships could come together and meet each other and then decide if the person I meet on this Marrying America is the right
Right.
person for me. But at least you go into it knowing that you want the same thing, which is a long term relationship. So that was the original genesis of the platform.
So how do you filter out those that are looking for the hookup to those that are really serious? Because a lot of times, especially on a lot of these apps, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been married for now over 11 years myself,
Congrats.
but there was a time when I was single. I did try a dating app, and
Right.
and I was looking for serious, because I feel like everything should be intentional when I'm
Sure.
out there trying to do stuff, right? But you tend to run into people
Mm-hmm.
sometimes who say, "Okay, well, I'm looking for all of this, and I'm looking for it," but then like, "Well, I'm not really ready for it." So how do you filter those people out?
Okay. I appreciate the question. Here's how we filter them out.
Hmm.
On our website, you only get to send 5 match requests every month. Okay.
Mm,
So, like you just said, you were a prior user of dating apps. So, if
hmm.
you were on our website, Russ, that you only were allowed to send 5 match requests every day, I mean, every month,
Right.
I believe that any woman who received a match request from you, she knows that she is one of no more than 5.
Mm,
She might be one of one or one of two, but she knows for sure that she is no more than one of 5 women that you would have sent a match request
hmm.
that month. So, therefore, when she sees a request from you, she is going to take it far more seriously than she would a request, knowing that this guy might be sending out 35 requests tonight. You know what I mean? On a Friday night, he's at home, he's watching a ball game, he's doing whatever he's doing. He could be
Right.
matching with 35 women. But on our site,
Hmm.
when you receive a match request, you know that not only am I no more than one of 5, this guy is financially committing to matching with me because what we
Mm,
okay, it
hmm.
we reserve a credit. If you send a match request, a credit is reserved, meaning I am
Mm.
prepared to make a financial investment in matching with you. Okay.
Okay.
And then if the
Okay.
email accepts or whoever accepts the match request, they then get charged a credit. So both of you
Mm.
start off the interaction knowing that I am financially invested in
So
making
you have skin in the game. Yeah.
it. Exactly. You have
Okay. Okay.
skin in the game. And what we're finding is that when people realize that individuals are willing to invest in them, okay,
Hmm.
they take that investment far more seriously than they do a casual match request because they know,
Right.
based on the design of the platform, that this person is financially invested in
Mm.
me. So
Right.
it just gets it off on a whole different dynamic. So
So
that's
with
that. Go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. Please continue.
So, like I'm saying, Ross, I mean, the problem with relationships nowadays, okay? Well, one of the many problems with relationships nowadays is the commitment. How do
Right.
I know this individual is serious? Okay.
Hmm.
And granted, nowadays it's very hard to tell if somebody is serious.
Right.
But I can tell you that anybody who registers, creates a profile on Marrying America, they are not looking for hookups. Okay, they're
Mm,
looking for their forever person.
okay.
Okay, and the website, everything about it is designed for serious people looking for.
Mm,
See, so we are the anti-Tinder. Tinder. Tinder has a reputation of hookups. Okay, we are the complete opposite of that. If you're looking for something serious, here
right.
is where you
Right.
need to be. And I
Okay.
think the vast majority of men are looking for something serious.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Because the vast majority of men, I mean, they're not getting the kind of action that they would like to get. I mean, it's only the top 20%, 25% of men that are getting 80% of the action. That's just reality. That's just fact. Whether we like it or not, that's just fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's built for my guys, my 75% of guys who just want
Mm,
a quality woman to lock in with and to make life with. But they're not
mm,
getting any action on Tinder because they're not the kind of guys who get action on Tinder.
mm.
Because you're not 6'5", you're not, buff and toned and, I mean, 6'6", 6'6", whatever that means.
Right.
They don't
Right.
have the sixes. Okay, they just want a
Mm,
quality woman to lock in with. Those guys don't get action on Tinder. The guys that get action on Tinder are the 666 guys. You know what I mean?
right.
Um,
Right. Right.
so we are the anti-Tinder. Tinder has its place. It's worked for a lot of people, but
Mm,
there's a whole swath of people who it has never worked for and will never work for. So Marrying America is meant for ordinary people, average fours, fives, and sixes who just
mm,
want to be in a committed relationship with somebody who wants the same thing.
mm.
It's as simple as that.
So, does your system use like an AI algorithm to try to match people, or you just find people in a general zip code or something like that that may be close to you? How does it work to actually match people?
Fair enough. How it works is we strive to get people to be very intentional. So we don't
Mhm,
have algorithms that tell you that, okay, Susie in Des Moines, Iowa, she checks all of these boxes. No,
right.
our system is designed where you specifically go in, you read somebody's profile, and you decide if that profile resonates with
Mm,
you. Okay, and again, with only 5 matches every month that you can send. You can only send 5 match requests every month. We want
I can
people,
look through 100 people though.
right? You can look through a
Okay.
thousand people.
Right.
You can
Okay.
look through, I mean, whether they're in your local city, whether they're
Hmm.
international, whether they're in, 1,000 miles away. But we want people to be very intentional to actually look at people's profiles and decide, wow, does this person have the qualities I'm looking for? As opposed to some AI model telling you, okay, these 15 girls check the boxes that you're looking for. Do you want to match with them? Because it just becomes, people get lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If a robot or if an AI model tells you, oh, these 15 girls look like good matches, you couldn't care less. I mean, you're gonna say,
Right.
okay, okay, okay. And if somebody matches with you, you're gonna go, do they really like me, or is it just because this AI robot told them that, okay, I might be a good match, and you happen to agree? You could
Mm,
be in two different places. So
right.
no, our model is designed for people to individually look at profiles,
Right.
critically evaluate those profiles, and decide whether or not this person, you know, is somebody that I think I should spend one of my 5 matches this month on.
Mm,
So no, we don't use AI, or we don't use, we don't send you, match potentials. No, we
right.
want you to individually and specifically, because again,
Mm,
Russ, what it speaks to is when somebody gets a match request from you, they know that you have spent
mhm,
time looking at their profile.
Right.
after looking at the profile and evaluating their profile, you chose to A, send them a match request and to invest in them accepting that request. Because as soon
Hmm.
as they accept that match request, it's gonna you're gonna spend that credit.
Mm.
So that's what this platform is all about, is making sure people understand that the other person on the other end of the receiving receipt request is intentional. They
Mm.
took the time because I don't know about you, Russ, but when I look at social media, and granted, I'm not on social media a lot. I mean, you always hear the comments. Oh, they didn't really look at my profile. I said that in my profile. I mean, I don't know why they thought X, Y, and Z because my
Right.
profile clearly stated I wasn't looking for that. People don't look at profiles.
Right. They look at the pictures.
Exactly. And they
Hmm.
swipe right. And if you match with them, then they go, oh, okay, hi, how are you? I mean, so
Right.
in in our ecosystem, you are forced to look at somebody's profile and to critically decide whether or not you want to invest in matching with them. So
Mm.
that's where
So
we are very different. Mhm.
do they see the profile before they see the picture, like a catchphrase to catch them, and then they got to read through the profile and try to match before they actually see what the person looks like,
No,
or
they see everything.
okay,
If you
okay,
upload 5 pictures and 2 videos, they can
hmm,
look at your 5 pictures and your 2 videos and then read all the responses to the profile questions
hmm,
and evaluate. Oh wow, this guy Russ seems like a cool guy. I mean, he answered. The answers that I'm seeing resonate with me. I mean, he has 5 pictures that I like. He has 2 videos that speak to me, and then you're gonna make a critical decision. Do I want to commit a credit and one of
hmm,
my 5 for the month in sending Russ a match request? So what happens, Russ, is when you get that match request, you're going to look at it very differently than you would look at a
hmm,
match request from Tinder, because you're going to recognize that this woman has spent time evaluating your profile. She has made a business decision to
hmm,
invest a credit in sending you a match request because she knows if you accept that match request, it just costed her money,
hmm.
because that's how you
Gotcha.
spend. You're gonna, so
Right,
she
right,
knows that. You know what I mean? And she also knows that if she accepts the match request, it's going to cost her a credit, which is telling you, the sender, that, okay, this woman really and truly likes what she sees because she's investing money in matching with me. So it's very
right.
intentional. And that's what's missing from our dating culture today.
Hmm.
And that's what
Wow.
I'm trying to get us back to.
So
Because
do you feel
yeah.
that today's dating
Hmm.
culture
Yeah.
is broken as a whole? Do you feel the culture is broken?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For one simple
What is?
reason.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For one simple reason.
Mhm.
Women no longer require relationships in exchange for sex. Okay? In times
Okay.
gone by, us, you had to be in a relationship in order to have access to sex. Okay?
Hmm.
That is how it has always been throughout
Hmm.
human history. It's only in the last generation or so when women have decided or have been able to not hold men to being in relationships in order to have sex with them. Because, as Kevin Samuels used to say, women control access to sex,
Right.
men
Yes.
control access to relationships. Okay. And that has historically and probably will forever be the case. And
Hmm.
what has fundamentally changed is that women no longer have the fear of getting pregnant. They no longer have the fear of not being able to provide for themselves, because fortunately enough, we have evolved where women are now in the workplace. They can make their
Right.
own money. They can do their own thing, and therefore
Hmm.
they have gotten to a place where they no longer require relationships in order to have sex with a guy. And that's where the whole hookup culture comes from. Okay, the whole hookup
Yeah.
culture, and they'll go to a bar on a Friday night and decide to hook up with a guy, and then guess what? You know, the guy recognizes I don't have to engage in a relationship to have sex with women, so therefore they choose not to.
Right.
They choose not to.
Right.
So it's not complicated. It's not. And that is what has fundamentally changed between the current environment that we're in and where we have historically been. Women used to require commitment and relationships in exchange for sex. They no longer require that. And it's
Wow.
redounding to a point where it's coming back to kick them in the ass because, you know, why would you commit to a relationship if you don't have to?
Right. Right. Very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's not
What?
really, yeah, exactly.
How they say, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
precisely it. But I'm telling you, I know plenty girls or many girls 25 to 35 who are still getting married. But the thing
Mhm.
that they all have in common, okay, is that they have always required commitment relationship in order to have sex with that person.
Right.
I mean, I can think of probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women who are married today. But like I'm telling you, the only thing they have in common is that they required a relationship in order to be physically involved with their now husbands. And
Mm.
they're living their best lives. They're living their
Wow.
best lives. But so, my message to women out there would be do not have sex with men who aren't willing to commit to a relationship. You're doing yourself no favors.
It's a huge injustice. Yes.
Exactly. You're doing them favors, but you're not doing yourself any favors.
Yeah.
So
That is true.
so that's what we're trying to get
Uh,
back to. That's what we're trying
yeah.
to get back to.
So I guess there's over 1,500 different dating sites out there across the world.
Yeah, there's thousands, yeah.
What
Hmm.
what is it that makes yours stand out from the others?
Well, what we're looking to do, okay,
Mhm.
is to create a platform where guys and girls who are seriously looking for a committed relationship,
Mhm.
they come onto the platform, and the platform is structured so that you have to be very intentional because our platform is not one that you can go on a Sunday morning when you're bored and you're drinking your coffee and eating your bacon and eggs and send 25 likes or 25 match requests to 25 different people. Okay.
Right.
Our platform is designed where every single match request you send has to be intentional because you only get five, and
Mhm.
every single one that you send, it reserves a credit, meaning that you will be financially invested if this person
Mhm.
accepts. So that's what makes us different. It makes us very intentional. It makes us a courting platform as opposed to a hookup or a dating platform. I am looking for somebody to court. I am looking for somebody to invest in, and I have already done so. So I'm hoping to continue to do so. Okay, it
Mhm.
sends a message up front, and
So
that's what we're trying to do.
so in the online dating world, what do you think that the biggest mistakes that people make when trying to get into online dating or setting up their profiles?
I think the biggest mistake people are making is that the people that they like, those people don't want what they want. Okay?
Mhm.
They don't want the same outcome. And unfortunately, as it stands right now, in every single one of these dating apps, the top 20% of the profiles get 80% of the action. Okay, that's
Mhm.
just fact. And therefore, it's not so much that they're making a mistake, it's just that if you are on a dating app nowadays and you are not very thorough in evaluating people's profiles, of course you're gonna see the hot girl, you're gonna see the the sexy pictures, and of course you're
Right.
gonna send her a match request. But she's
Mhm.
not looking for marriage. She's not looking for a husband.
Right.
She's looking for a sponsor. She's looking for a sugar
Yeah.
daddy. She's looking for, yeah. So it's not gonna work. Okay, if you're a hot guy, I mean, and you have your gym pics out there, and she sees a hot body, and she goes, "Hey, look, I'm looking for some fun this weekend." I mean, but guys who are looking for relationships, Russ, they don't
Mhm.
post gym pics because
Right.
these guys
Right.
aren't in the gym. You know what I mean? These guys who are looking, they're just not. Yeah, they have dad bods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're
Right.
not in the gym pushing 300 pounds bench pressing. They're just not. I mean, they
Right.
have the dad bods and they look like ordinary Joes. They look like me and you, regular guys who just, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, we're not trying to be Mr. Universe. You know what I mean? But yet still, we still want, but we're not going to get that kind of attention because
Mhm.
he's not hot enough. He doesn't look rich enough. He doesn't look whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? So the
Mhm.
biggest mistake people make is that they are matching with people who don't want what they want.
Mhm.
Okay. And then these girls end up matching with guys who just want to hook up, who just want to use be with them for 2 weeks or 2 months,
Right.
and then kick
Right.
them to the curb, move on to the next, and then they say life is messed up. But no, life is not messed up. These guys from jump, you could tell that they were not into long-term relationships. They just don't fit the
Mhm.
profile. So that's the biggest problem right now,
Mhm.
in my opinion, is that people have unreasonable expectations of meeting you know, their forever person because what they want and what
Mhm.
they're willing to accept, there's sometimes a difference between those two things.
Yeah, I like the way you phrase that, unreasonable expectations.
No, for sure.
Um, in the beginning of online dating,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that a lot of people had a fear of it because
Mm-hmm.
they felt like the people that were online were serial killers. You always
True.
heard, hey, it's only the sickos out there online.
Right.
But now, I mean, it's changed where everybody's online now. So, what are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about online dating today?
For better or for worse,
Hmm.
the only place to really meet people in volume is online.
Hmm.
Okay. You're not going to go to the company picnic and meet your forever person. Do these things happen? Yes, it still happens. But
Hmm.
the odds of that happening, you might as well buy a lottery ticket and hope to win because it just, like I said, for better or for worse, the only place to find a long term relationship nowadays is online. We just don't get out like we used to. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Back in my day, people would be going outside of the home doing things.
Right. Right.
Nowadays, we're inside the home, you know,
Hmm.
watching our sports, doing our
Hmm.
social media, gaming. Everything is just, you can look at the kids. Back in my day, kids would be outside playing.
Hmm.
Nowadays,
Right.
kids don't
Right.
play outside anymore. They just don't.
Right.
So, we
Very
can't put,
true.
so the fact of the matter is we cannot put this genie back in the bottle. There is
Hmm.
no way to meet people in the wild, as they say, because any guy or any girl you meet in the wild at a club is essentially an automatic disqualifier for a long term relationship. Okay? For a good time, for a one night stand, for a hookup, yes. But any girl you meet in a club nowadays, Russ, you're not gonna want to walk her down the aisle. You're just not.
Right.
And
Right.
where do these people meet people? Online is the only way to go.
Yeah. I used to my thing would always be in my single days when I used to go to the club,
Right, sure.
the guys would always say, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?" I'm like, nah, I'm not going out. So I'll go out every once in a while, but not. I wasn't an every weekend type club
Right.
guy. And they're
Right.
like, "Well, why don't you want to go?" I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Because I don't want to be, 50 years from now talking to my grandchild and they say, Grandpa, where did you meet grandma at? Well, she was dropping that thing on the dance floor and I couldn't
Right.
resist that bunkie. That wasn't gonna
No, would
happen
be.
to me.
Yeah, that wasn't going to be a
No,
narrative. Yeah, that wasn't going to be a
no,
story.
no,
Yeah.
that right. So
But at
yeah,
the
that
end of the
that
day,
was just not for me. Right.
no, but it's not just for you. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
reality of it is the kind of people that you meet in clubs
Mm-hmm.
generally are not marriage material, whether it's the guys or the girls. They're generally not
Mm-hmm.
long term marriage material. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially the ones who are at the club every weekend or 3 times a month. They're just not. Okay. The people that make the best marriage material, they are on the grind Monday through Friday. On the weekends, they're home. They throw something on a barbecue grill. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're inside gaming. They're inside watching a basketball game, a football game, a baseball game. They're not in the club. The people
Yeah.
who make long term marriage material. And if they're in their backyard grilling on a Sunday, how do you meet them? It's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you think you're gonna meet your forever person in a club, you're delusional. Can
Mm-hmm.
it happen? No doubt. Does it happen? No doubt. But it's like winning the lottery. You are not
Mm-hmm.
going to meet your forever person in a nightclub. It's just not gonna happen. It just isn't. I mean, could you meet them in the office? It
Yeah.
happens. But the
Yeah.
odds are slim. The odds are low. The odds don't work in your favor. You know what
I
I
met
mean?
my wife in the office, so
So it happens. That is
it
my point.
happens. Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't happen often. Especially in this day and age where people just don't get out like they used to.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? They just don't.
Yeah.
So that's what this is all about, Russ, is trying to get us back to where we used to be, where people were intentional about their relationships, especially women. Because
Yeah.
what I would want women to appreciate today, that their mothers and aunts and grandmothers appreciate, is that a man only or is primarily driven by the fact that he has to work to have you. And you
Mm.
cannot have had a history. If you're a woman who has a history of being run through, and then you take a vow of abstinence or chastity or abstaining, it's BS. It does not work. You cannot have had that history of being run through and then go, hey, look, I'm reborn. I am
Right.
no. That
Yeah.
doesn't work either. You know what I mean? You just have to have a certain lack of body count. And if you
Right.
have that, it takes you a very long way. Because at the end of the day, Russ, what I think
Mm-hmm.
men subconsciously and instinctively know, if you go to a club this weekend, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you take a girl home and she has sex with you, you
Mm-hmm.
instinctively know that you are probably not the first and you won't be the
Right.
last, because that's
Right.
just how she is. It's not about you, because you know you don't have game like that. You know you're not that guy.
Speak for yourself.
Well, thank you. Okay, most of us know we're not that guy. Most of us know. So if she's doing it with me, then in all likelihood, I'm not the first. I ain't gonna be the last. So we know these things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I mean, so the likelihood of us then walking her down the aisle is slim to zero.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what we're trying to do at Marine America is to get a cohort, because again,
Yeah.
most women don't flow like that. Most men don't flow like that. We're trying to get that
Mm-hmm.
60% of people who know that they're four, fives, and sixes,
Yeah.
okay, together in an environment where they want to make life together. Right. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying. As
Ah.
simple as that. You know.
Hey, I look at it, in binary numbers. I'm a techie guy, right?
Okay,
And
good.
so everything
Hmm.
everything is ones and zeros to me in the
Ah,
tech
there you
world,
go.
right?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So and I look at relationships and women in the same method. There's no nines or tens. It's would you or would you not? A
Right.
one and a zero. And
Right.
that's the way I see
No,
everything
I
across the
get it.
board.
I
You
get
know.
it. I get it.
Yeah,
I
because
get it.
somebody else's nine may be a two to somebody else.
Somebody else.
So right,
Exactly.
yeah. So
That's
it's like,
exactly
would
right.
you or would you not?
Right.
So,
I mean,
but
and I understand it precisely.
yeah, but for a lot of things, and I mentioned this earlier
Hmm.
about being intentional, and that's the main theme of your site is dating with intention. So,
Exactly.
how do you recommend, or in your opinion,
Hmm.
how would you advise men, because we are a men-based show,
Sure.
how would you advise men to know if the woman that they are attracted to or going after is actually involved with intention, or are they just actually just killing time?
What I would advise men to do, okay,
Hmm.
is women will tell you exactly where they've been
Hmm.
and where they're going, just
Hmm.
based on their lived experiences. If
Okay.
you're talking to a woman and she says, "Hey, look, I'm 27, I've had two long term boyfriends," that tells you something. If you've had two long term boyfriends and none of them have married you, okay, what's going on here? If she tells you, "Well, I have had a boyfriend, I mean, in the last 5 years," that also tells you something. So,
Mm.
you have to evaluate it on a case by case basis, because I am a firm believer. People will tell you, no, people tell you exactly who they are. You just have to get better at deciphering what they are saying, just in the
Hmm.
way they express themselves, just in the ways, in the things that they say, just in the things that they do, just in the way they interact with you. You can tell
Right.
a lot about somebody. But the mistake that many of us make is we misread or do or fail to interpret what
Yes.
they're telling us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're dealing with a girl who has consistently been in church every Sunday for the last 7 years, she volunteers at the homeless shelter, she does X, Y, and Z. I mean, the point is, okay, is that people always tell you who they are. Where
Right.
we as individuals fail is we do not interpret what they're
Mm.
telling us correctly. Because
Right.
you will
Right.
always hear
Right.
the story, Russ, where 5 years later, when it falls apart, they'll tell you, "Oh, all the signs were there."
The signs were there all along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they fail to interpret them. They
Hmm.
fail to understand these things up front. But they
Yeah.
were always there. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't
Hmm.
when she wasn't hiding anything. You just chose to ignore it, or you failed to interpret it. So
Right.
that's what I tell people: interpret the signs up front.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
Wow.
If you get
Yeah.
better at interpreting and listening to what people are saying, because you're not going to verbalize it, okay? They're not going
Hmm.
to articulate it to you. You just have to look at it in their body language, in what they say, how they
Yeah.
interact with you, how they interact with their family, how they interact with your family, how they interact with friends. It will tell you everything you need to know. You just have to pay attention.
Wow.
It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's no more
Yeah.
complicated than that.
And a lot of times guys are really not that observant.
Well, they are, but they refuse to be cognizant of what they're seeing. They dismiss it.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
dismissive of the signs that they are seeing. And why they do
But
that is beyond me. I don't get why they do it, but they do.
yeah,
But they
I
do it.
I think that And I can go off my own experiences, man. The number of times that I've even just gone to the store with my wife,
Sure.
and she went to one side of the store, I go to the other side of the
Right.
store, and I come back to find her, and I walked up to the wrong woman. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to think, what does she have on today?
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Whoa.
we rode to the store together, and I'm
Right.
like, I don't even remember what she had on today.
Guilty. Said guilty. Said that. Which is embarrassing as hell. Cause you go, oh, sorry, my bad. I mean, no, yeah, for sure, for sure. No, but you know,
I walked up to a woman with long braids, and I'm like, hey,
yeah.
oops, I'm
Ooh,
so sorry.
sorry. Yeah. Ooh, I thought you were somebody else. I thought you were my wife. Oh, man. No, yeah, we do get into these cringeworthy
Yeah, very,
moments.
very cringeworthy
No, no,
moments.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But like I tell people, I mean, I have never met it. Okay, let me never say never, but most
Mhm.
people I meet, they are only too happy to show you who they are. You just have to be willing to interpret
Mhm.
the signs and the signals that you're sending. You just have to
Yeah.
consciously, consciously evaluate. Okay, what is this person telling me? What is this
Right.
person moving towards? And I mean, look, Russ,
Mhm.
the school I come from, okay, I tell people I am the second sanest person I know. I know what the first question is that they ask me, right? What's the first question they're going to ask me,
Well,
Russ?
who's the first?
Exactly. And my answer is, I'm still trying to figure it out. But what does that? But and then I go, but but then I go on to explain to them the reason why I come from that perspective. Russ, I don't know you, okay? But I already know you have your isms, your schisms, your quirks,
Mhm.
your tendencies.
Yeah.
So I would go into meeting you
Mhm.
with the appreciation that I don't know you, but there's going to be some things about you that
Yeah.
I may or may not like. So I don't go into it thinking that you're a nice guy. I go
Right.
into it thinking there's something wrong with you. How long is it going to
Mhm.
take you to expose that? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, I mean, that is the mistake people make. People meet people
Mhm.
and automatically give them the benefit of the doubt that this person is normal, this person is healthy, this person is engaged, this person is conscious. Big mistake,
Hmm.
big, in my opinion, because as
Okay.
soon as you start talking to them, in many instances, you start to see the nuances, you start to see the cray cray, as I call it. You start to see, okay, here is what makes this person special. Okay, you start to see, and then you have to decide as an individual: can I deal with that person's cray
Right.
cray? Can I live with their nuances? Are those differences a difference maker, or is it something I can work with? If you understand the point I'm trying to make, is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have an expectation of people that they're going to be completely healthy, completely normal, completely. And if we go into it with that expectation, we're bound to be disappointed because we
Mhm.
all bring our individual baggage to a
Right.
situation, our life
Right.
experiences. So, I mean, when I'm meeting people for the first time, I already have decided that there is baggage that they're bringing that I need to understand and decide whether or not that baggage is something I want to entertain, I want to deal with.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So if you and I were hanging out, Russ, I would have to decide
Right.
what baggage is Russ gonna bring to our relationship. Do I want to deal
Yeah.
with it, or do I want to walk away?
Gotcha.
And that is a piece that many of us refuse to double down on, to appreciate, to
Mhm.
consciously process. That no
Mhm.
matter if it's a work relationship, a professional relationship, an in law relationship, whatever the relationship is, you have to appreciate that there's going to be certain amount of baggage that this person is going to be bringing to your table, and you have
Mhm.
to decide, can I deal with it? Do I want to deal with it? Is the
Right.
upside worth, the baggage I have to deal with? So that's why I
Right.
tell people I'm the second sanest person I know, because it allows me to critically evaluate you
Mm,
as I try to engage with you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
If we're gonna do a business relationship or whatever it is, I have to understand what is it that what baggage is
Right.
Russ gonna bring to my table that I may not want to deal with.
Right. Yeah. So that just kind of made me think of,
Mm,
like if I'm going from here to there,
right.
just to even see somebody, that I have to pack my bags and go there to see them. So
Right.
depending on, how far of a journey it is, I may have to bring more baggage. So
Sure.
a lot of times, the longer you have to travel, the more baggage you bring
Sure.
with them into this. So yeah, I guess that's a good way to look at it. I've never really thought of it in that manner because I've always looked at, I have deal breakers.
Right. Sure.
And if you hit one of my deal breakers, then that's yep, first 5 minutes, I know, because I'm asking you about those deal breakers in those first 5 minutes, and if you hit one, boom, 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 you're gone. I,
Dismissed.
I yeah, basically, we're gonna find our way up out of this one. I'm gonna text a buddy, hey, call me real quick, 911. you know, get me up out of here. But
You see, fortunately enough, Russ, I've never really had to deal with deal breakers. But my position on deal breakers, okay,
yeah.
is it a deal breaker that we can have a conversation and you can get
Mm,
beyond it? Okay.
mm,
Or is it so ingrained in you that you cannot get beyond it? Okay. I
mm,
mean, say for instance, you don't like to cook. Okay. Just as
right,
an example. I
mm,
mean, going into it, you might go, geez, I need a woman that likes to cook. You
right,
see, to me, it's only going to be a deal breaker if it's something that you're not willing to work towards correcting.
right.
You know what I'm saying? If
I
you go,
mean,
look,
both of us shouldn't be sitting up in here starving now.
so exactly,
Somebody got to know how to
yeah,
boil some water.
yeah, right, and yeah, because we can't eat out every day. We
Right.
can't, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if it's
Who
something
wants
that
to
you're
do
saying,
that?
that's to the point is, if you said, babe, I never really learned how to cook, but I'm willing to buy some cookbooks and to work on my
Mm,
recipes and to become a better cook,
yeah.
then what might otherwise be a deal breaker. Oh, yeah, oh babe, okay, you're willing to
Don't
get
look so
some.
bad. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
mean, I am me personally, I am loath to go to the point of she did this or he did this, so that's a deal breaker. The
Hmm.
question for me is, are you willing to modify
Hmm.
your behavior? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to do? Maybe you have never been asked before to do, but is it
Hmm.
something that you're willing to embrace? Is it
Yeah.
something that because when you're dealing with people, you're always asking them to modify, to accommodate whatever it is that you need. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Because, people, generally speaking, they do business based on what your prior experiences have taught them that
Yeah.
people want. But then you run into me and I go, babe, I don't need you to cook every day for me because I'm not that kind of guy. I don't need a home cooked meal every day to feel
Right.
like you love me. Here's what I need instead. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We get accustomed to doing certain things because we've been
Right.
socialized to believe that if you love a man, then you need to cook for him every day. But I'm going, babe,
Hmm.
I don't need you to cook for me every day. I mean,
Every day.
here's what
Right.
I need instead. So, I mean, are they
Right.
adaptable? Are they flexible? Are they willing
Yeah.
to modify? No, if you
Or
absolutely
if you can
refuse.
cook enough, so we got leftovers.
Hey, yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, exactly. Say, babe, I mean, you can cook, once a week. You cook,
Yeah.
enough for that we can eat the rest of the week. Okay, so you designate Sunday as your cooking day. So you cook, enough that we can eat Monday through Friday. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, so like I said, my thing is, I don't like to talk in terms of deal breakers. I like to more speak in terms of what are you not willing to modify or change,
Hmm. Yeah.
because then it becomes a deal breaker. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? If
Right.
I say, look, I like a home cooked meal 2 or 3 days a week, and you go, oh hell no, ain't no way in hell I'm cooking anything 2 or 3 days a week, then that now becomes a deal breaker. You know what I mean? But if you
Right.
say,
Right.
oh,
Right.
you're willing to say, babe, I mean, I don't cook right now, but I'm willing to cook 2 or 3 days a week, and then you start doing it, then we're
Mhm.
good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of us we don't have the conversation, we don't have the discussion that, babe,
Yeah.
this is what I require in order for this to work. Are you willing to meet that expectation? Are you willing
Yeah.
to step to where I need you to be? And they're
Yeah.
gonna either tell you yes or no. They're either gonna do it or not do it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Their actions
Absolutely.
are gonna tell you everything.
Hmm.
Because I mean, the world I operate in is love is not something you say, love is something that you do.
You do.
You
Hmm.
understand? I mean, you telling your wife every day, babe, I love you, but I mean, she wants you to take the garbage out every night and you're not doing it. Sure, you're telling her every morning that, babe, I love you, but guess what? The garbage is still in the garbage can. So
Right.
to me, love is something that is an action.
Hmm.
You're doing the things that your partner appreciates, even though you
Hmm.
don't want to do it, even though you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? She says, babe, can you wash the dishes every night before we go to bed? You really don't want to do it because you want to watch a ball game, then you want to go to bed. But you say, okay,
Yeah.
something, it means something to my significant other. Let me wash the damn dishes as I'm watching the ball game and then go to bed. Love is work. I tell people all the time.
Right.
I mean, and
Right.
I've been in this game 40 years. So love is
Yeah.
work. Are you prepared to do the things you don't want to do because it makes your significant other happy?
Yeah.
That to me is
Absolutely.
what it comes down to. And if the answer to that is yes, then you have a fantastic platform in order to make it work. If the answer to that is maybe sometime, I don't know, then it's not going to work. You have to
Yeah.
be prepared to do the thing, whatever your partner wants. And everybody's different. Everybody's different. What I want and what you want, two different things. Are you
Hmm.
prepared to do the things that make my partner feel valued, appreciated, and loved? And if the answer is yes, then there's a lot to work with. If the answer says, I'm not so sure, you're gonna be in problems. You're gonna be in problems. So to me, it's not very
All right.
complicated. It's just that we
Yeah.
we we have gotten socialized to think love is something that you just say. That baby,
Right.
I love you. You have a great day. No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So we got to go to the last word.
Yes, sir.
And now, the last word.
So the last word is to you. You've mentioned that you've been married for 39 years, going on
Yes, sir.
40.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel the biggest key for lasting in your relationship that long has been?
That's an interesting question. Um, I think the biggest key to a lasting relationship is the selection process. You
Mhm.
have to marry somebody who is willing to do the things that you want them or need them, or
Mhm.
is willing to listen to the things that you need that make you happy,
Mhm.
for it to last. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, the key, for me, Russ, the thing is different people require different things. Okay.
Of course, yes.
And if
Everybody's
you're
love
asked,
language is different.
exactly.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if your partner is willing to be responsive and receptive to what you need, then you stand a legit chance of having a long term, healthy, sustained relationship. Is the key to this thing. So, for me, is you have to deal with somebody, you have to be engaged with somebody, you have to be married to somebody who is willing for you to talk to them and say, babe, here's what I need. And we're not saying anything that's immoral or illegal or,
Mhm.
outside the bounds,
Right.
but look, you know, do you mind giving me a foot massage 3 times a week. If that's something that matters to me, then you have to be willing. Even though you don't want to give me that foot massage 3 nights a week, you know it matters to me because I'm on my feet all day. I'm on the construction site all day, throwing concrete, throwing rebar, throwing stuff up. And I said, babe, I just need a foot massage 3 days a week. Even though you don't want to do it, you understand it's important to me. So you do it anyway. So that is a key to, in my opinion, to a long-term sustained relationship, is knowing that I wish I didn't have to rub my wife's feet 3 days a week, or if she's in a grocery store packing, whatever she's doing, and she comes home at night and her feet are killing her, and she says, babe, I just need a foot massage 3 days a week. You hate doing foot massages, but you know it matters to her. So what do? You suck it up and you do it anyway. So to me, the key to a sustained relationship is your significant other saying to you, babe, these are the things I need to make me happy, and you then doing it. And again, the disclaimer is I'm not talking about anything illegal. I'm not talking about anything immoral. I'm just talking about, babe, I just need a back massage. I've been lifting wood. I've been lifting bricks all day long. My shoulders are stiff. Can you just hit me with a massager a couple of nights a week? So it's just understanding what other individuals' needs are and being willing to meet them even when you don't want to. Awesome. Even when you'd rather watch a football game instead. It's okay, babe. No, bring your feet over here. I'll massage the hell out of these feet, even though I need to be watching a football game. But you know something? I love you. So, I know it matters to you. Let's do it. So it's that simple. Well, awesome. Almost that simple.
Almost that simple, right?
Almost that simple.
The site is marryingamerica.com.
Yes,
My guest today, Mr. Jeremy Nelson. Anything else you want to close out with before we go?
Russ, I guess what I would want to tell your listeners, your viewers, is that we're at an inflection point in relationships nowadays. And what we're trying to do is get people who want a healthy, sustained, long-term relationship onto our platform, because we are moving to a world where individuals in terms of relationships are going to be replaced by robots. Okay? Yes. Because 100 years ago, we needed each other for survival. We don't need each other for survival now. Okay? We can go make our own money, pay our own mortgage, buy our own car. We don't need each other for survival anymore. So, and dealing with people is hard work. I tell people all the time, dealing with people is work. So you have to approach it as just that. So, I would want your listeners, your viewers to take away that just understand that relationships are work. But if you communicate with each other and you tell each other what you specifically need in order to make you happy, it can be a beautiful thing. And the way to find that person is to join Marrying America, where there's intention, where there's people who want to be in a long-term relationship, and then you make life together. That's what I would tell your listeners and your followers.
Awesome. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yes, sir.
This has been a fast hour.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely appreciate you spending time with us and sharing with Manspace Nation all about marryingamerica.com. Manspace Nation, if you are single and you are really intentional about your direction, check out marryingamerica.com.
Yes, sir.
Manspace Nation, we'll be back with another episode real soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. And until next time, we are out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Manspace.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Manspace updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at ManspaceNat1.
Until next time, Manspace Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out of here.